shield blocks it, and the sword attacks. This is an okay style, and you can do some fun stuff with that, but I think it is, like he's saying, overcomplicated. So I like to block high here, block low here, wait till he either throws low and strike, or wait till he throws high, block, and then roll. And if he's striking to this side, he's throwing an offside, I'm going to block, and then push roll here, push roll out, something like that. And I will bring this high to block, sure, but I never bring this low to block. But having it high, when he gets you out of position like Brian's really good at doing, like swinging low and get my sword over here, this I try to drop back and protect with, and then skedaddle. Right? So the way I fight it is a little more relaxed, and I feel like I can fight longer that way. It does have shortcomings, of course, like all styles. But with longsword, I'm a very center line kind of guy. My whole approach to longsword, if I'm fighting competitively, is to chop for the forearm, staying at range, chopping for the forearm, sidestep for the forearm, like that. And when he gets comfortable in that range, I want to chop and thrust.
No thrust though in most of the organizations.
Yeah, well, in HEMA stuff and cut and thrust, we can thrust.
Yeah, thrusts are allowed.
If you can't, my longsword approach is chop for the arm, and wait for him to draw high. Whenever he draws high to throw a shot, right, I want to move in, run and roll. If they're taller than me, which a lot of times they are actually, I'm going to get in low here, and I want to push them up, and they're going to want to lay on me to hold me down like this. And one of my favorite shots is push, drop, turn, just as hard as I can, like I'm swinging into a tree, right? So a push up to get a little clearance, body drop, turn. And it gets you out of where you were, you're not in a good place to get hit, and you can usually put some power on this. If you got a particularly mobile guy, or a guy that's swinging really hard, I like to target the hip bone here, because that hurts and it slows them down. But that's my basics. I stick to very simple things. Chopping at the arms, maybe shoulders kind of stuff, and then I keep everything here to block with, and as soon as I can get them, as soon as I can counterattack or they get out of position, they go high, I want to move in and roll. And I don't really get much into the grappling side of things unless we have to. And then I'll start. Then I just want to immobilize them till I can break or whatever. I don't grab the blade much. That's not really one of the things I work on. But for blocking, do like he does here. If he's going off sides here. And again, once he goes high, well, now he's gone high, right? I want to get in there. I want to push high and work around too. But I block here, keeping the sword up. I know some people do this kind of stuff, the flick up. I'll do that if I'm at range with somebody who's a little more finessed or I can't get range on. But I just stick to this core stuff here and only add in the fancy stuff if...
This is the full guard.
Yeah. Or things like this, right? I treat it the same way. I try to I either push it up or push it down and close, and then circle it.
I personally have always found this to be ridiculous. You always tend to end up getting hit.
It's pretty.
The only time that you should, in my opinion, that you should end up in that position is when you're moving. It's a transitional point.
I completely agree.
It's a transitional point. It's not, look at me, I'm going to strike a pose and fight from here. Doesn't work. And when we were talking about binding, that's part of binding. We're not hitting apart. I'm keeping forward pressure, he's keeping forward pressure. And we run in circles, you know? And we're stuck. we're moving on each other's energy. So, you guys ready to do some more passes?
Yeah.